So, folks, there are a lot of polls out there. Election day is tomorrow. There are a lot of polls out there that are saying, "Hey, this is going to be so close. This is going to be so close. This is going to be so close. It's going to be so close." Um, and that might be, but here's what I believe. I believe that it will not be close. I believe that Harris is going to win, and I believe that she's going to win big. And here's why. I think that there are a lot of groups out there that are going to vote Harris that are afraid to express their support for Harris and are not going to express their support for Harris, but will vote Harris. By the way, shout out to Fat Joe. I saw your endorsement today. I loved it. Thank you. I think that I would have loved it if you could have been, like a little more real Fat Joe. I think that, men need to see that you're not soft if you're voting for Harris. That's not a soft thing to do. That's actually a tough thing to do. In any case, thanks, Fat Joe. But in any case, so there are a couple of groups that I think are out there that are just not going to say that they're voting for Harris. First group that I can think of are the women, right? These are the groups that, the commercials were, or the ads were made after, right? Where it's like, hey, women, your vote is private. Don't worry about it. Vote who you're conscious. Vote for who you feel like you need to vote for. And I think this ad is headed towards the first group, or is geared towards that first group that I'm thinking about, which are women that have men in their lives that are, that support Donald Trump, and that's okay, right? They are not going to express openly their support for Harris. They won't do it because, again, they have men in their lives that that support Trump, and they just want to stay away from the chaos. I think there's another group of individuals, and these individuals are the individuals that I think at one point in time, thought it was cool to do, like, to go against the grain, or to go against what, like, the popular choice was, right? And I had a student who's, male student. This is his first time voting this year in this election. And, at one point in time, it was cool to support Trump, right? Because it was like against the grain, right? Because, hey, I'm black, so, a lot of people expect me to support Harris or the Democrats, but I'm not going to. I'm going to support Trump, and here's why that's cool, and let me go against the grain so I can get a lot of likes and a lot of views, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so I think that those folks are going to come home. There's another group of individuals that I think that are just fearful of sharing their political opinions, especially as it pertains to, I'm a supporter of Harris. You hear stories about people getting their signs stolen. You hear, stories about voter intimidation. You hear stories about, like aggressive behavior at the polling place. And I think that there are a lot of people that are just generally fearful of letting others know, their opinions and who they support, especially if you're a Harris supporter. And I think a lot of the violent rhetoric that came from the campaign emboldens individuals to behave in this way, right? It's like an aggressive, you can't like use your words to talk out your disagreements. You got to get into this like aggressive stance. And so I think a lot of Harris voters are just want to avoid that conflict, and they're not going to say that they're voting Harris. They're just going to do it. And so that's three groups of individuals that I think are, for the most part, mainly fearful of stating, hey, I'm going to vote for Harris. And so because you don't have these people that are like open about it, I think that, the data is going to be skewed in those polls. Also, the people that have voted before, you got a lot of Democrats and a lot of Republicans that have voted early. And I think a lot of those Republicans are going to be casting their ballots for Harris. I think there are a lot of Republicans that will not say that out loud, that will not say it in the exit polls. They will not say it. Because again, the people that surround them in their lives are, they're supporting Trump, and they don't want any chaos. They don't want aggravation. They don't want to be at odds with the people in their immediate circle. But I think you're going to have a lot of those people that are voting for Harris. So that's my prediction. Mark my words. You can come and check me tomorrow, but I think that is what's going to happen. That is the new political environment that has been created in 2016. This really aggressive political environment that instills fear in people. But this fear is separated from what folks are going to do. If they know that they can vote in secret, or if they know that their ballot is secret, they are going to vote Harris. And you're going to see tomorrow, as those numbers start to trickle in, how many folks are actually voting Harris because they're done with the chaos. That's my prediction. Let's see if it comes true. Peace.